Good evening and welcome to Discovering. When you think of camping, an image of a white frozen lake in a shroud of fog with a lone red fishing shelter probably doesn't come to mind. But that is exactly the backdrop of tonight's main story as I go ice camping with another avid female angler. I'm going to be honest here, I did sneak out of the Upper Peninsula for this story. We are in a Great Lakes state though, and you can ice camp and fish these same species here in the UP.
Doing some winter camping for lake trout and hopefully some eel pout later tonight.
And another story I have for you tonight is the burbot research study and survey being done by Michigan Tech University.
Burbot are kind of relatively understudied compared to lake trout or other Great Lakes fish.
So sit back and relax. It's Monday night and it's time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Ice camping has become more popular over the last few years with larger insulated thermal hub shelters on the market that make living on the ice for a night or two comfortable and enjoyable.
And I was never someone, I always said I have absolutely no interest in ever going ice camping. I'm just a freeze baby, I get really cold, and just the thought of spending a day on the ice and not being able to go home and get into a hot shower, I was like, I don't want to do that. And then I did it, and it wasn't cold. We were toasty warm, and it was a lot of fun. I've just been doing it ever since, so I was really glad I tried it out.
Marie Nevy is an avid angler and winter camping adventurer.
Oh, that one wanted to play a little bit. He wasn't as fired up.
So I asked her if she'd be willing to take me on one of her ice fishing and camping trips. Normally, it's just her and her two pups, Copper and River. So you winter camp quite a bit?
This year more than most. Usually I do a trip or two. So this is my third trip this year and maybe one more. We'll see. It's a lot of work. It's rewarding. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work setting up as you, like packing and as you experienced. But if you want to fish away from home, a couple hours from home like I am today, it's really nice to not have to pack it in and drive home. You get more time.
And we're doing 2 nights because with all the setup involved, you may as well spend some time here. Our target species for this trip is lake trout, plus we're hoping for some burbot after dark. And Marie wanted a spot near a shoreline so the dogs could explore within eyesight. This spot should serve all 3 of those needs.
So the structure we're on right now comes up to about 17 feet and it's rocky. And where we're gonna go set the other house up for daytime lake trout is probably going to be 45 feet, and we're right now kind of in the middle. So we have lots of options nearby.
Oh, I forgot the table.
Basically, whatever you need to tent camp in the summer, you need in the winter, plus a few more things.
You're going to want a cot. My cot is huge because both of my dogs sleep there with me. A good warm sleeping bag, like 0 degree or warmer or colder. Insulated sleeping pad, some flooring, lighting, heater, propane, big jug of water. This is like a reusable one. What else? Food, a little cook stove. Oh, carbon monoxide detector. Always bring one of those. Extra batteries, spare parts and stuff for my snowmobile. spark plugs, a come along in case we were to get stuck, spare belts, all of that stuff.
Plus extra socks and a bucket or two.
Don't forget your bathroom setup.
All that plus your fishing gear, and it adds up to be quite a bit, which you would need regardless of how many nights. So again, you might as well stay a while. The biggest appeal of ice camping is to give you more hours on the ice to fish.
It's not hot and heavy out here for lake trout in the winter, but between today and tomorrow, I would think that we could scrape together like 3 fish a piece minimum is what, I'd be happy with that. Lake trout are nice too because they bite all day.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they'll wait for you. You don't have to get up early. You don't have to stay up late. They'll bite all day. I always say that trout times are 10, noon, and 2. Seem to be and then usually after 3 it shuts down a little bit. These are smelt, so that's what we're going to use on the set lines. Pretty much just set them right on the bottom, and these are just fatheads and rosy reds. So I'm just going to tip my jig with these. Sometimes just a little extra scent helps.
Lake trout are Marie's favorite fish to chase.
Just some tips for lake trout, because it sounds like you maybe haven't jigged through the ice for them too much. So it's super fun. It's really visual. It's really cat and mouse. So if you see one, a good sign that it is a trout is if it just shoots off the bottom and it just comes rocketing up. So what you're going to want to do, they love to chase. So you're just going to want to reel. The speed is going to be determined by how fast the fish is moving. You don't want to widen the gap. So if the fish isn't going quite as fast as you, slow it down, maintain the gap, right? This is my lure, this is the fish, slow down. You know what I mean? And if they stop or they lose interest, give it a couple jigs, and don't be afraid to just free spool right past them. Just straight to the bottom, they'll chase you down, start reeling up again, they'll chase you back up. It's really a lot of fun. And then if you do hook into one, I like to do a nice double hook set because they have bony heads. So set it, reel down and set it again. So just a couple tips. Hopefully that will help us get some fish on the ice. I think the first step is to mark some fish, so we might have to go set up the other house.
Marie brought a second hub so we can cover more water.
Yeah, this is the 450, so very comfortable for 2 people and 2 dogs. We can have more lines down in there and we can fish a little different structure. Looks like rain tomorrow, so it'll be nice to at least have a change of scenery. Move from one house to the next. So we basically just gained 10 feet. But now we're out off that structure a little bit. A lot of times they just kind of cruise around structure, at a certain depth. And so sometimes it's just, I don't really move a lot lake trout fishing. I kind of wait for them to come to me, unless it's I'm not seeing anything, then time to make a move.
Marie marked 1 laker, but unfortunately, we didn't catch any lake trout the first day.
Sorry, buddy. Oh, I know, I thought I was gonna have to set the hook there. Ooh.
Over the couple days, we kept meals simple. Pasties, of course, that are easily warmed up on the propane heater.
I'm definitely melting my heater doing this, as you can see, but it doesn't seem like a very important part of the heater, so I think it's okay.
The same method worked with pre-made breakfast burritos wrapped in tinfoil. And Marie made a pasta dish in advance that she reheated over the propane burner. All delicious, all simple. We're here to fish, not cook. And another benefit of ice camping is you can fish while heating and eating. In the evenings, we switched over from lake trout to burbot. After pounding the bottom for a couple hours the first night with a dead smelt on a weighted glow spoon, I finally hooked one.
Yes.
Not a huge burbot, but a burbot nonetheless. And I finally held one of these slimy, eel-like fish that are all muscle. They're not a pretty fish, but they put up a fun fight.
Yes. Chaos. Oh, nice. Cute little bugger.
Marie set the rattle reel up to hopefully catch a burb overnight, but no burbs bit while we slumbered. You can leave the propane heater on all night, but the couple nights were in the teens and 20s, so not bad. And because of a little uneasiness of leaving the heater on all night, we slept both nights with it off, and we were fine. And the hub quickly warmed back up in the mornings. On day 2, Marie moved the small hub to a new spot.
It's a nice mid-lake structure. Deep water all around it. It's rocky on top. Comes up to, we're almost on top of it. I think it comes up to like 27 feet. This is a spot that, especially if I'm here open water and I'm just kind of getting my butt kicked, I know I can always squeak out a couple here. So it's kind of like, I do my exploring, and if that doesn't pan out, I always end up back here.
Marie's go-to spot didn't let us down.
I gotta get it up the hole, but I got too much slush in there. I can't see it. It's nice. It's definitely nice. I can't see it. Oh, it's a nice one. Oh, beautiful fish. Yes. Awesome. Just absolutely. I looked away for 1 second. I just felt like a tick, and I looked down and there's a big mark. I just started reeling and it was done. Awesome. Beautiful fish. Let's get her back. Number 7 jigging wrap is the ticket out here. 27 and a half. Sweet. One more. We'll go inside and let her go. Still feisty. She's gone. Yes. That's what we come for. Let's do it again. There's a trout. Here he comes. There he is. A little bugger. Woohoo. Beautiful little guy. Really pretty, healthy fish. Kind of vapor trailed up on my graph and just smoked it right away. So sweet. That's what we want. Send her back. We're off to an early start. I don't even think it's 10 a.m. yet. So awesome.
Seconds after releasing that Laker, Marie hooked into another one.
Fish on. Okay, there's my leader. There it is. Oh, it's not that big. Oh, it's fall hooked. That's why it feels so big. Whoopsies. Is it the same one I just caught? Oh, it's gone. Oh. Yeah, it was fall hooked. That's okay. Those are illegal anyway. We'll try again. It looked about this exact same size as that last one. Maybe it was the last one. Look at it still. Another baby.
That was our last Laker.
Absolutely.
I didn't catch any lake trout myself, but that's all right. You know, I enjoy filming others catch fish as much as I like catching them myself. The trip went fast, and it was time to pack it all up and go home. Even though we didn't have the greatest weather, it was gloomy with rain, fog, and snow, we had a wonderful time. I can only imagine how fun it would be with warm, sunnier days. I forgot to mention earlier, it was River's first birthday too. What a great way to celebrate. I learned a lot from Marie about fishing and ice camping, and I can't wait to do it again. Burbot, A species that was once regarded as trash fish has gained popularity among recreational anglers, prompting researchers to study this overlooked fish and its importance in the Lake Superior ecosystem.
My name is Jill Olin. I'm an assistant professor in the Biological Sciences Department at Michigan Tech. In conversations with Michigan DNR and our colleagues over there, we were interested in talking about the native species that are understudied. The focus has been lake trout for a very long time, right? And burbot, who lake trout eat, we're thinking, hey, we see a lot of burbot in these stomachs of lake trout. What is anyone doing on burbot? So it's kind of a little bit more of happenstance how we ended up studying burbot. And now that we're learning as we go and learning a lot about, their movements and about their genetics and, what they're eating and what they're doing. Yeah, so I think I'm hoping this is a start of some really continuous science.
Even if you're not an angler, you probably know what lake trout are, plus all the other common sport fish. Burbot, maybe not so much.
Burbot are a very unique fish. They're a very awesome fish. They're the only species of freshwater cod, so they kind of have that cod-like body. They have little barbels sticking out of their chin that helps them navigate the bottom of the lake, which is where they spend a lot of their time. They love deep water and cold water, and they're native to Lake Superior and a lot of regions here in the northern Midwest and also up into Canada and Alaska.
This winter, I met up with students and faculty from Michigan Tech University who are leading a study on burbot in the Lake Superior Basin.
We're into our second year of this project. The Great Lakes Fishery Commission funded us to study the population structure, the genetic kind of capacity, the population structure, as well as the foraging interactions of burbot in Lake Superior.
My name's Grant Olesk. I'm a second-year PhD student at Michigan Tech in the Biological Science Department, and I'm working on understanding the population genetics of burbot in Lake Superior. So far we've learned that burbot can kind of return to rivers to spawn as well. They can also spawn in sort of the near and offshore reefs in the lake. So what we found so far is that there's burbot in some of the tributaries that are really genetically distinct from some of the offshore and sort of more near-shore caught fish. Specifically, those have been the Chocolate and Autrain River over near Marquette. Those have been really distinct from a lot of fish, as well as some fish from the St. Louis River between Duluth and Superior. We've also seen the fish kind of caught out here in Keweenaw Bay seem to be a pretty mixed bag of a lot of our fish weren't very mixed in a sense. They were pretty much from one sort of genetic population, but these are more mixed than some of the other ones, where we're finding once you get offshore in the lake, a lot of those fish are pretty genetically similar to each other. So it's really important to kind of know these areas and these hotspots of diversity to kind of protect them, as that kind of can help protect burbot across the lake. If we maintain a high genetic diversity across the lake, it ensures that the population is more likely to be there for future generations and in a healthy state.
PhD student Grayson Wolf is studying burbot from another angle.
So right now I'm looking at this human dimensions component, or the social side of the fishery. So I've been talking with anglers. I'm facilitating the survey that's going out throughout Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, as well as Ontario. And we're trying to kind of utilize anglers as a window into this fishery and understand where this recent interest has come from, and this kind of burbot boom almost, this development of interest over time, and just kind of capture people's perspectives on the fishery and how they interact with it. I've learned a lot of interesting things so far. I think my favorite part of the project has been interviewing anglers. I think that anglers just know so much about the system. I think coming at the fishery from this social side and understanding the angler view will be informative for management who is looking to regulate the species kind of across this greater landscape of Lake Superior.
Previously, there was no creel limit on burbot, but starting with this 2026 fishing season, the Michigan DNR put a daily creel limit of 5 on them.
In Michigan, the regulations are changing for burbot, so we're going to be able to get kind of a before and after almost perspective on the fish.
Once research is complete and they're confident in their results, the data will be made available to the public.
And we've had some great interactions with fishermen and folks actually using the resource, which I think all this information will be valuable to them.
and know that they're engaged, right, and seeing some outcome.
That's all for tonight, and I hope to see you right back here next week for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.